Yeah, this is Chico. It's time to do our weekly recap from April 21st to the 25th. So, it's been a tough week. We finally had our long streak where we were perfect all last month and perfect all this month up until this past week. We had this rally that just took us for a ride. And I was a little surprised that this rally, what you call, I don't know, it could be a bear market rally or a rally, or just a rally in general, took off on us. And we, on Tuesday, the rally started and we decided to open a position on Palantir, two contracts, and also Carvana. And we placed it up far enough to strike price, thinking that there was like enough, it was in the comfort zone, not too aggressive and not too, not too safe. But I was wrong. So after the rally started, looking at the market, looking at the facts, looking at what was going on the political landscape, I didn't think it would have so much legs. And we were in a loss, midweek, but then it kept going. And then on Friday, it just kept surging. So Palantir, really put the screws tight on us for from a pain perspective. And so sometimes these things happen. I've lived through a whole bunch of them, and we looking back, we assess midweek about what should we do. Should we close out our position and take the loss, or should we keep going? And I decided to keep going because there wasn't anything significant in the news, to me at least, other than Donald Trump saying that, oh, we're making deals here and soon we'll have conclusion with certain countries, things like that. He just wasn't standing on anything solid. He was saying he called President Xi called him from China, and then he was going to wind down the tariffs, or at least reduce them so as we to proceed with negotiations. And of course, the Chinese party, the representatives for tariff negotiations, saying that there hasn't even been any discussions on this matter. So given all that, I thought it was like really really flaky. And if that was like the fact why there was like a surge in the stocks, I said, okay, let's keep going. And so certainly we did. And wow, it just kept riding up on us. But no problem. We still are in the profit zone from previous trades, and maybe this month will be close to break even, depending how we do this week, or we'll be in the red for this month. But definitely last month we were up. So yeah, this one surge has kind of unwound a whole bunch of like good trades, but sometimes that's how it is. As long as at the end of the day you survive these things, and you're happy with your return. But definitely for some people, they go so aggressive, or they want to double down after, or get more aggressive out after that, using whatever funds they have, and take a little bit more risk, and then they really get hurt, and then they're out of the game. But here, I want to show to you that, and tell you that, you know you got to keep your A game, you got to keep your composure, and keep going on, and return back to like success. All right, let's go to the spreadsheet. Okay, so let's look at the spreadsheet quickly here. So the first week of April, we made 685, then 489, then 301. However, this last week here in April, we got blown up by this strong rally in the market, and where we played two very volatile stock that we were trying to land some juicy premiums, but it did not work out. So we did pocket the 180 from the two contracts on Palantir and 270 from the single contract of Carvana. But however, we were in the money at the end, and to sell that to the buyer of the contract, we would have to go in the market and purchase it at these prices: 112 and 91, where the strike price was 101, and then 237, where the strike price was 230. So, with that said, that would lose us $2,582 and $7.15. So for the week, down $2,847. For the month so far, I'll put the month so far, which is down $1,372. So let's see what we can do in the last week to minimize this damage. And again, just as a reminder, if you did a covered call, you'd be happy with the appreciation of the stock, even though you got the assignment. But of course, you would miss out on the opportunity of the difference between the strike price and the price that it actually wound up at, which assuming it's above the strike price. And then if you did a naked call, yeah, you have to go in the on the market to purchase the shares to sell to the buyer. And in this case, we've calculated that at 112.91 and 237. So Palantir, man, what a stock! Went from 94 or around 94 to all the way to 112 in a few days. And Carvana, I think it was about 200 so at the beginning of the week. We got in at 217 and wound up at 237. All right, that's it for the spreadsheet. Okay, we still got one more week left in this month. We're gonna bounce back and finish off on a good note. So catch you next episode.